What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Monday, December 23rd, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 23:03 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East and Eastern Europe. So the U.S. is urging its citizens to leave Belarus immediately and has updated its travel advisory for Belarus to level 4, do not travel, due to existing dangers for Americans. Okay, so the U.S. urging citizens to leave Belarus immediately. And what's interesting is yesterday we had this U.S. RQ-4 Global Hawk reconnaissance drone perform this very rare reconnaissance patrol around Kaliningrad and near Belarus. Now, I have personally never seen a reconnaissance patrol like this one by an RQ-4 Global Hawk in this part of the world. It basically flew straight up into Lithuania, and it was performing this curved pattern here. And by performing a curved pattern like this, it's looking at all areas perpendicular to the straight lines. Okay, these drones have side-looking radars, so it was looking into Kaliningrad, also looking into Belarus, and what's very interesting is it was doing loops here near the portion of Belarus close to Poland and Lithuania, and this is the area where Belarus has stacked up hundreds of semis. Actually, Russia has stacked up hundreds of unmarked semis here right on the border of Poland. They also have hundreds of S-400 missiles and dozens of S-400 launchers in this area as well. And also in Kaliningrad, they have placed hundreds and hundreds of S-400 missiles plus dozens of S-400 launchers. And so this RQ-4 was looking into Kaliningrad, keeping an eye on this area, and actually this is what's known as a targeting pattern. So it was picking up targets, specific locations where Russian missiles are located and air defenses are located in the event that Russia or Belarus were to attack Lithuania or Poland. They would have already specific targets that they could hit. Now, also what's very interesting is at the same time there was a P-8 Poseidon that came down from Iceland, and it was also looking at Kaliningrad, and it even flew into northern Poland, which is pretty rare. P-8 Poseidons are sub-hunters, and for one of these to fly over land is pretty rare unless it was getting aerially refueled over here. But you can see that it was performing reconnaissance right off the coast of Kaliningrad, so something is brewing over here. There's hundreds of unmarked semis right on the border of Poland, in Belarus and in Russia here in Kaliningrad. Also last night, a Russian Doomsday plane left Moscow and went to the Urals. Now, earlier this morning, for a short while, the entire country of Ukraine was lit up with air raid alerts, and the only time Ukraine ever does that is if there's a planned ICBM strike by Russia, or they have some intelligence that Russia's about to launch ICBMs, the Oreshniks. This is the second time that this has happened in the last 2 days. This happened 2 days ago. On Friday night, the entire country of Ukraine went under an air raid alert for just a few minutes because of intelligence that showed that Russia was moving ICBMs around. And then earlier today, the same thing. They had some intelligence that Russia was moving ICBMs around. And so they lit up the whole country with an air raid alert, and then they canceled it. So what this tells me is that Russia is preparing to strike with the Oreshniks again, okay? And this time, it could be much more massive. It will be much more massive. The big question is whether it will be nuclear or conventional. Okay, Ukraine has done more deep strikes inside of Russia with Western weapons since the last Oreshnik strike. Okay, they hit an ammunition plant in Rostov with a storm shadow or several storm shadows, and then they also hit in Kursk this barracks area in the city of Rilsk, where a whole bunch of Russian officers were staying at. They hit them with ATACMS, okay? And then the other day, they also used a drone to hit some kind of high-rise building in Kazan. So Putin has something planned. I don't know what it is. I do believe he's going to attack Lithuania and potentially Poland. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is EMP Shield. Guys, I'm proud to announce that I'm going to be partnering with EMP Shield. They have just given me a special discount code just for my subscribers. If you go to empshield.com and use the code NYPrepper when you check out, you'll get 15% off your entire order. Good for anything on their website. They're also doing a Cyber Monday sale. Guys, the threat of an EMP has never been higher, and you need to protect your vehicle and critical electronics. The EMP Shield is a device that protects your vehicle's computer or electronics by installing in line with the electrical system. The EMP Shield has passed rigorous military testing and is compliant with several military standards. They're also IP66 weatherproof and made in the USA. They can be used to protect your ham radio base stations, your RV, your camper, your solar generator, and various other things in addition to your vehicle. So go to empshield.com, use the discount code NYPrepper to get 15% off, and the link and the discount code are in the description below this video. It could happen before Trump takes office. That would make the most sense for Putin to make his moves now before Trump takes office. So we have to monitor this part of the world, and here's a closer look at the RQ-4. You can see this targeting pattern that it was doing, collecting target information for NATO on Russian forces in Kaliningrad and Belarus if things were to escalate. We also have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East. The Houthis launched more missiles at Israel today, just a few hours ago. In Tel Aviv, there was air defense activity. Israel used their Arrow 3 missile defense system to shoot down another Houthi missile or several Houthi missiles. There were explosions reported in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem. And we're hearing that more than 2 million Israelis fled to shelters when this went down, and the Ben Gurion International Airport was also closed. Here we have some video footage of the air raids, and you can see some of the missile interceptors up in the sky. Check this out. You can see what appear to be 2 missiles or 2 missile interceptors here. But guys, this is not Ukraine. This is the Holy Land, okay? This is God's chosen people, God's chosen land under attack now on a daily basis from the Houthis launching missiles constantly, okay? This is very, very serious and another sign that we're living in the end times. And this evening and this afternoon, we had multiple U.S. presidential Doomsday planes airborne over Nebraska. I have a source that happens to live right next to Offutt Air Base, and this person was keeping me updated throughout the day. They were seeing multiple Doomsday planes circling around Nebraska near Offutt Air Base, home of Stratcom. And these Doomsday planes were not on flight trackers. Okay, here's a video of one that was airborne just about 2 hours ago. It might still be airborne. It was apparently circling around Offutt Air Base. So you can see the blinking red light there. It's a little bit hard to make out. The quality's not the best, but this person constantly sends me updates, and they know exactly what a Doomsday plane looks like day or night. They are very good at spotting these, so very serious, guys, for there to be these Doomsday planes airborne with no transponder turned on. And we have Saudi Arabia launching a surprise attack on Yemen tonight. Saudi artillery units are now bombarding northern Yemen near the border with Saudi Arabia. Observers on the ground are reporting intense fire, so I don't know if the Saudis have teamed up with Israel to deal with the Houthis, but Saudi artillery is now pounding northern Yemen. And Israel's National Unity Front leader Benny Gantz joined Mossad chief David Barnea in calling for direct strikes on Iran in response to the Houthi missile attacks in recent days. He said, quote, "The solution is in Tehran. If you want to stop the Houthis firing, you have to hit Iran directly." Wow. And U.S. intelligence estimates that Iran is preparing to carry out an attack against Israel. According to a senior U.S. official, Iran is probably willing to take preemptive measures both in order to carry out its retaliation and to preempt any possible upcoming Israeli attack, okay? So U.S. intelligence saying that Iran will carry out some kind of attack against Israel. This same intelligence source is saying that Iran wants to do it before Trump gets into office, because we know that Trump wanted Israel to strike the nuclear sites, and now there's talk of Israel striking Iran again because of the Houthi attacks. So this is very serious. And just the other day, the National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said that he was very concerned about Iran supercharging their nuclear program and has already briefed the incoming Trump administration on the risks of Iran obtaining nuclear weapons. And the Moldovan president, Maya Sandu, is planning a military operation in Transnistria, and no one can guarantee that she will not attempt to start a war, said Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service in a statement to TASS, which is the Russian news agency. According to Russia's foreign intelligence, the Moldovan president recently convened a meeting on energy security issues with senior government officials. At the end of the meeting, Sandu emphasized the need to organize a military operation to take control of Transnistria and end Russia's peacekeeping presence in the region. Wow. And the Chinese drone manufacturer has disclosed a massive government order for almost 1 million lightweight kamikaze drones to be delivered by 2026. So within the next year, China will receive 1 million lightweight kamikaze drones. I don't know if these are going to be sold to Russia or if China's building their own drone army to attack Taiwan. And the Milarovo airfield in Russia was hit hard by Ukrainian drones tonight and is currently on fire. And we're hearing that 70 cities in New Jersey are now dealing with discolored water that smells like nail polish. And Los Angeles reported their first human case of the H5N1 bird flu. And the first pair of Polish F-35s arrived at Fort Smith earlier today. These two F-35s will be used to train Polish pilots on how to fly the F-35s, and then they will be transferred over to Poland. Poland ordered 35 F-35s, which will be slowly delivered over the next couple of years. And I want to remind you guys that the F-35 is cleared for nuclear use. Okay, they can carry the B-61 nuclear gravity bomb. So there's talk of Poland becoming part of the NATO nuclear sharing program. Poland officially applied to be a part of the NATO nuclear sharing. And so far, the Biden administration did not openly grant Poland's request. However, we know that the Trump administration is very close to the Polish president, and Trump himself and the Polish president get along really well. And I would not be surprised if one of the first things that Trump does in Eastern Europe to counter Putin is to give Poland nuclear weapons, okay? We know that Trump built several bases in Poland, U.S. military bases, and also a permanent detachment of U.S. Army in Poland. That was under Trump. And last night, a northern Michigan town plunged to minus 21 degrees Fahrenheit, breaking a record from 1989. The National Weather Service in Gaylord, Michigan, that's right, Gaylord, Michigan, said the daily cold temperature record in that city was broken at 5:24 a.m. today, when the pre-dawn temperatures hit minus 21 degrees Fahrenheit. The previous record of minus 10 for December 22nd has been standing since 1989. Meanwhile, the remainder of northern Michigan wasn't much warmer, as the majority of the region dropped well below zero. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, and hopefully you guys remember the reason for the holiday. And yes, presents are great. I love Christmas festivities. I love having a Christmas tree, sharing gifts, going to Christmas parties and things like that. But remember the reason for Christmas, which is the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, okay? So I don't know if I'll be able to post an update tomorrow. I'm going to be busy with family, but I will have my 24/7 streams going. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.